Yay. Awesome. And there's Maureen DeGregory. Yay. I got one envelope from Maureen I didn't open yet.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good
Good
afternoon. Good
afternoon.
evening.
Oop, let me turn that down.
Oh, happy 4th of July. This is awesome. I love it. Oh, 4th of July punch. That's cute. That's awesome. Happy 4th of July. May your burgers be juicy. Your fireworks loud, your neighbors not start lighting them at 7 a.m. Here, though, I love the color page. That's awesome in the cartoon. Very nice.
Thank you. And did you see I changed my back?
Yes, I like that you included you.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's perfect. Oh, good. And Linktree, you did Linktree. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, see, I think that makes a difference, don't you?
I do. And I woke up this morning to views on my business page,
Oh,
and I
awesome.
got a new follower.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's how you
But
do it.
yep, before we get into the cards, I want to tell you something that just touched my heart. Do you remember a few months ago I told you about the old group I was in and how I got those handwritten letters from
Hmm.
the twins? Well, I got a letter from the mom a couple of weeks ago, and the mom apologized to me for taking so long to get back to me because 4 days after the twins turned 10, they were in a head-on car accident and the little boy lost his life. But
Oh
the reason
God.
I'm not telling you that for the set, this is what I'm saying. She says, you are more, where is it? Where is it? Oh, so this is why we are just now replying back to you. I can tell you that the little boy loved, capitalized, underline, getting the cool cards from you. That's what he used to say.
Oh,
And I
that's
told her that
awesome.
I would continue I wrote her back and I said, I will continue sending the cool cards to you and the daughter. And every time I do, I will think of him.
Oh,
Um, but
wow.
I didn't tell you the story about him passing to make everybody sad. The point I was trying to make is I made this mama proud. I'm not proud. I made this mama happy because her
Yes,
little boy was excited when he got the cards that we send. And like Lisa always says, we never know how it's touching or affecting somebody. And
that's
if this little
true.
boy sadly hadn't lost his life, I wouldn't know that either, that he thought they were cool.
And you know, they talk about all the time. It's send out cards on the meetings is um a percent of the cards because we send so many, I guess it is, but a percent of the cards arrive on just the perfect day, the perfect
Yeah.
person needed to hear it. And that seems like one of those
Yeah. Because what
things.
I
Wow,
did is
that's
when I
awesome.
was making, I'm sorry, this I didn't mean to interrupt, but when I was making the cards, like for Easter, I made cards for boys, I made cards for girls, and then I made the cards for the adults. So if people were asking for cards for their young children, and when I say young, I was like under 15 maybe,
Hmm.
because the insides I would always switch out for depending on the age of the child. So I always specifically made the cards for the child. So, and his card was different than his sister's card.
Oh, that's that's always good anyway. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
His was
awesome.
his was always
Oh,
different.
I'm glad you shared that.
Yeah,
Um,
I cried. I cried when I got that. I will admit that. And when I wrote her back, I said, please never apologize. Never apologize. Because she apologized like 4 times in the letter. And I was like,
oh,
no, you don't need, you're with what you're going through, you don't need to apologize to me. And then I got a handwritten note from the little girl that said, thank you for my birthday card.
oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How are you, Joyce? I like that smile you got going there.
Well, I have the day off, so it's a good day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Considering I almost burnt down my back porch last night.
Oh, oh, that's not awesome.
The grill kind of got out of control.
Yeah.
So what would you guys do? Yeah, a fire
Well,
extinguisher?
we started throwing flour on it, my daughter and myself, and we had a friend over celebrating his birthday. He goes, "No, my mother always used baking soda." So my daughter ran in the house and got the box of baking soda. Meanwhile, I'm on the phone with 911 because now it's hitting the top of the roof of the
Oh
back
no.
porch. And I mean, it's an open back porch, but it's covered.
Yeah,
And we have those party lights around it. Well,
yeah,
now I'm seeing and smelling rubber from the wires. So I
yeah,
had to call 911 because just, you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and as I'm on the phone with them, they got it out. And I said, "Oh, never mind. I got it. Thank you." And hung
Oh,
up. We we came back into the house to finish eating
they showed up.
and to get the smoke out of the house and come back in to find the dogs had taken the chicken off our plates.
Of course he did.
You know, and it's like at least the cats didn't jump on the table and get the rest of the chicken. Good. So 911 actually called me back to
Make
verify there was
sure.
no
Oh, good.
structure fire and everybody was good. And I said, "We're good. Thank you so much."
Oh, good.
So we're all volunteer around here because we're in a semi-rural area.
No, we are
So
too.
they come around on the 4th with the boots and they have some antique fire trucks. They take the children for rides. So when my grandchildren go out to take a ride, I'm going to slip $100 check going, "Thank you."
Yeah, Valerie and I know how that is, right?
Yes, indeed.
I
Mhm.
have a bunch of fire extinguishers because I knew when I moved out here, it's not that I think I could fight a fire and stop it, it's to get out. And
Yeah,
everybody that comes here has to listen to the whole spiel.
yeah.
Because Merv, and what happened, Ty left a hot dog boiling water on the stove. We woke up, the house was smoked,
Ooh,
and he was in the shower, and I'm like, Is my house on fire or we just smoked something?" What did we, is the house smoked from the stove or and luckily it was just a hot dog on the pan that got, yeah, the pan's bad done.
I've
But
done
yeah.
that with boiling hard-boiled eggs. You forget
Oh,
about it. You walk away, you know?
yeah, that's how,
Yeah.
right, right, right. Yeah, it was funny, he thought I'd be mad. I'm like, as if I haven't done that before.
I
Right,
have
right.
never done that before.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the grandchildren, my daughter, they live with me, and I was working yesterday, and they were like feral cats all day. And by the end of the day, and my daughter came home at 3, I had a pounding headache, and I could have choked anybody and not blinked an eye.
Oh,
So then by 4 o'clock, I'm trying to start dinner, and we're decided we're going to eat early, and I'm in a lot of pain. I'm back and forth between the grill and the kitchen. So by the time I serve it, I was afraid to go back out there and grab the Reynolds wrap off the grill because I didn't want the cats to get the chicken because everybody was outside. So it was just a cluster, it.
you know what though? Go buy some fire extinguishers.
I thought about that after I called 911. I go, I forgot again. You know,
Oh, you don't have one, or you had one you did?
no,
Oh,
no,
I would get some because I've got one because I've got do you have an upstairs and a downstairs?
no, I'm on a ranch now.
Oh, well, yeah. So I have an upstairs, and that's my thing is I don't want to be chucking myself out that window up. I don't want to go two
Yeah,
stories off.
no,
So I've got the fire extinguisher so I could fight my way down the stairs.
yes,
Fight my way down the
yes.
stairs to get out the building. But oh yeah. Oh, well, Rhonda has a suggestion we need to discuss today, if you don't mind. A very good question. And hi, Heather, I see you there. Awesome. And Joanne and Valerie, Nancy and Penny, and of course, Maureen and Joyce. And Rhonda wanted to talk about, she's got, I believe it's her daughter that's getting married. and she wanted to know how she could use send out cards for the invitations. And she said the daughter does want to send some of them like e-cards, which is perfect if because we offer both of those. So she could either do them separate or she could make some of them have the same design for the e-card act. So all you'd have to do is design this once and you could use it for both ways within the send out cards system. And just in case you didn't sign up for that, Rhonda, I think it's only $10 a month and you can turn it on and off. So that would be worth the $10 to have them all match, in my opinion, but that's up to you. Let's just go quick. I wanted to give you a couple of suggestions and then open the floor to everybody else's suggestions, if you don't mind, because this is going to be a suggestion situation, probably. So I think me personally, if it was my invitations, I'd go to Canva and look for wedding invitations and see what they have. They probably see they have a whole bunch of different kind already made up for you. So you could get whatever you wanted. Look at that beautiful one. But they might not be into flowers. So you could look at all these choices within Canva and pick one and have it all the front all done for you. Or used to be like a flat card and then it had a tissue and all that stuff. It won't have all that, but that's not, most people don't do that anymore. They also have ones like this one that has um, pictures of the couple. So it would be, you could either pick this or have that the other side of it and have actual pictures of them. But any of these, if you just type it in the search bar at the top, it'll come up with a whole bunch of choices. Maybe you and your daughter could pick out what you liked. And Canva does have a free option. So you could do it if you're not already a Canva user. And then you would just save this as a PNG or a um, JPEG PNG or a JPEG file, and then put this in send out cards. That's all you'd have to do for that. You wouldn't have to get a design within send out cards. But let's go look at send out cards, see, because they're going to have some too. I'm sure they're going to have probably not as personalized on the front than you could do with Canva, is why I started with that. Rhonda's question initially was, would she order them in bulk or have them send them? I think you could do either way. Wedding invitation. If you wanted to send them, um, these are save the date for wedding ones. You're invited. See, these are awesome too. When you get the couple's pictures in them, they're just not quite as personalized. So you can't put the date and where it's going to be and all that stuff on the front. But you could put pictures of the couple and everything. So I guess it would depend on what you liked. But I personally think I would go with something over here and then just because you can let's pick one so we can see how personal it gets. Where's that flower one that was, oh, for some reason I think that's pretty. I think that's so customize this template. So see all these individual pieces. If you didn't like the white flowers, you could change them. You can change the name. You can change this the saying here. You can change that's the date and the time and the place it's going to be. That says reception to follow. So every single little block that's lighting up separate is a separate thing that you could either delete or change. You also could change the font very easily. See, if you just went like that, you could change the font itself. You could change what it says. You could change all of that stuff.
I would go with Canva.
You'd go with what? Oh, Valerie's like, no, I
Yeah,
wasn't
I
talking.
think, I mean, that looks awesome. Pick something from Canva. Like you said, you can customize it and then
And then
just
bring it
save it.
over.
And then
Yeah, and then you
just,
just say, yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. To me, that's a more personal way to do it, but
yeah.
and it's easy. Now, as far as sending it, I think that would be uh, your choice, Rhonda, whether you got, um, oh, call on me, please. Heather. Oh, did Heather leave? Heather, leave. Heather left. Call on me, please. And then she left. Dang, I didn't see that. Oh, good. Rhonda has, I do have the lifetime acts. Oh, good. So to me, that's what I would do. If it's your daughter that's getting married, I think I would have her there to help you pick out the front from Canva, decide which one she likes, personalize it with the information she needs, either just have a two panel or just a flat card. And you have the choice on there to include pictures, a picture of them, which is awesome. And then I personally probably would let them send them, but you can do, if it's a flat card or a two panel, you can have them printed and sent to you as a bulk order. But you can't do it on a three panel. So it's a flat card or a two panel. And then they send envelopes with it, whether you want them or not. And then you have the thing. And once you've designed it, you also can use that same design, like if you did it in Canva, especially the same design to send the act. So the ones she wants that are just Evites, you can do it that way. So how does that sound, Rhonda? I think that's an excellent use of it. I think if it was me too, I would go the little extra, maybe do the Canva one that we saw personalized and on the either on a flat card, maybe on the back, have a picture of the couple. And then I think I would put a QR code that goes to the directions to the house, to the location of the wedding, or maybe a QR code that goes to the suggested gift list because they always have that a registry, a gift registry, or both of those things. All of those are.
Mm.
Anybody else have some wedding invitation ideas for Rhonda? Yeah.
No, I like the Canva idea because I use Canva a lot for a lot of things, and I'm learning a lot of new ways to use Canva too. So, I like that idea.
I think it just makes it a little bit easier because they've already done the design.
Yeah,
And almost all of it you can change. So if she went, well, I like that design, but I don't like white roses or whatever it is. I like yellow daisies or whatever it is. You can just switch those out,
right.
and chances are they have something similar to what you're looking for. Or you can even import something, a
And
graphic
you can
like that.
match the colors of the wedding, whatever
Yes, yeah,
the colors are.
that's true.
Yeah, yeah,
Rhonda, you could match the colors of the wedding, whatever the daughter's doing. So that would be so personalized. I think it's just yay.
yay.
Yay. Yeah, the only I think the only advantage to you mailing them yourself would be I don't know, because if you already had like if you have your own handwriting font, or even if you don't like your handwriting and you're using some of their fonts, that is nice, and the envelopes are pale blue, which they stand out because they're blue. You can change your return address to be whatever you want it to be for the invitations. And I think I'd just have them mail them myself, but because then you're opening yourself up to a lot of work if you don't. You could have them send you 50 with the envelopes, but then you're stuck doing that, where it's probably less work just to import the people you want to send them to, or even enter them. Um, I just enter them one at a time. I don't import them, but you can
And
through
then save
Excel.
them in a group.
Save them in a group.
Name it
Yep.
whatever the wedding, your daughter's name is. Put them all in that group, and then if you have send out cards, send it. You just click all those people in that group, and then
They can do it all at once.
they can do
Yeah.
it all at once.
Yeah. I believe now Donna's done a bunch of the acts. I think you can. tell me whether this is true or not. If she designs the card the first time as the one she's going to send, it's still going to have the JPEG or the PNG file for the front. So you can't just automatically use the card you designed and call it an act. You got to start over again and pick act that you're going to do, send it as an act. But you already designed the front over in Canva, so you can just take that PNG file and put it in the act card. So you got to unmute yourself.
Phone call. I didn't want to interrupt.
That's all right.
Um, you send it as an act, or you can send it as do it up as an act or as a card. But once you send the act, then you can also send it as the card
Oh,
visible.
okay. So you'd want to start and design the act first
Right.
and
Or at
do
least
whatever
that's how
those
I
are. Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, either way, because you're doing the majority of the design in Canva, so you're just going to have that panel that you're bringing over. So either way, but if you do the act first, Rhonda, Donna said, then you can say, oh yes, I do want that also as a paper one that I'm sending. So that'd be awesome. What did I do those for? I did a flat card for Kenny, the director guy, to hand to people when he went and saw another play trying to recruit cast members for us. And they came with envelopes, even though I didn't want them. So you don't have a choice in that if you order a bulk number of them, if you order it bulk and have them come to you, you're going to get envelopes. So whether that's a two panel or a flat card, the advantage might be if your daughter is really into like the old tradition of putting a little tissue, I'm sure you can get those little tissues somewhere. Or if you wanted to put an RSVP envelope or something, you probably could get those somewhere. But anymore, a lot of that stuff is not used. So I personally would let them do it because
Mm.
it's less handling on my part. That's what I would do. So, does anybody else have some suggestions for her though? I hope you'll share that with us, Rhonda, when you get it, when you do it, because that sounds like a great use of the card system for sure. So. And everybody that gets them is going to be wicked impressed because especially it's going to be so personal, and especially if you put a picture of the couple or something on there too, they'd be like, how did they do that? They'll think you spent a whole bunch of money doing it. So yeah, I wonder if people really have people design their card anymore, where you can do something like this so easily. So, yeah, I haven't been to any weddings or anything where I've gotten one in the mail or anything. Oh, I do have a couple cards I want to show you though. Mm. And one of them is from Deanna, which she isn't on today. Deanna, and it says lovebirds. I know we're bad, getting hotter every day. Because I put hot and happy or something like that. Yeah, we were so hot. His apartment doesn't have AC.
Mm.
Yeah, I lovingly call it the sweat lodge. So, and every time he looks at me and I'm sweating, I go, like we're in the sweat lodge. Yeah. So, and this one is from Maureen, who also it's like a made us into black and white. It says hot and happy. No two words were ever more true. That is so cute. I look like a little tiny midget next to him, though. No, yeah, he's a big, tall man. He bent over so we'd be in the same frame.
I did that on Canva,
Really?
actually. Yeah, I used one of their AIs and I did it as a pencil.
Oh, that's neat. That does look like a pencil drawing. That's neat how that is. Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Like that. And I didn't realize, I know I told you this before, I didn't realize how this looked around the house. He only comes up here once in a while. They were just here. That's why I'm thinking about it. But people send me cards, and I've got a bunch of them around. So like I've got this one and this one that people have sent me, except I've got them, on the mirrors in the bathrooms. I've got two bathrooms, and I've got in random places like on the fridge and stuff. And he's like, you got quite a few pictures. It's like I realized that, yeah, it's kind of like Stalkerville going on. Like, I've got the shrine. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Although Jaden was excited because I did have the one where we were at Great Wolf Lodge together. I think it was where three of us are standing together. I had that made on a canvas, canvasprints.com, and it's on the wall when you come in the back door, along with the other Grammys up there. The picture where my mother looks friendly. That's the one I bless her heart. Anyway, yeah, the Grammy's there, the kids there, the cats and the dog are there, and I put that three picture of me and Ty and Jaden in there. And when Jaden came in the back door, he just kept going, Jaden, Jaden. And I'm like,
Mm.
yeah, there you are. So he thinks that's funny. He likes to come up here for the dog, I think. He likes the dog, but he doesn't like he pets Bo backwards sometimes. I think the dog doesn't know what to make of that whole thing. Yeah, because he's loud and he swings stuff around, and the dog just like, what is this? So, how are you today, Nancy?
I'm doing okay, thanks. I
Oh,
just love
awesome.
joining in these calls and getting all kinds of stealing all you guys' ideas.
No, that's the whole idea. That's the
Yeah.
point. Yay. Because
You guys
people
come up
Exactly.
with some great
people
ideas.
saying stuff. Oh, Maureen got her card. Yay. Yeah, I gotta run that list again. In case you didn't hear me say that, I think I said last week. Um, there is a way to find out all of your generations that are going, and that's to print out the PDF instead of the Excel file when it says Connect 2025 in Downline Manager or whatever they're calling it this month. So you just, I think it's, is it Team Reports? And then you'll see under static reports for Connect 2025. And then there's two options. There's the Excel and then there's the PDF. When you click on the Excel, it only gives you your first three generations. When you click on the PDF, you get them all. So I finally got smart and looked, and that's what it is. And it'll tell you who's registered and who canceled. So I've sent all mine that I've got, but now I need to run it again because it changes when people join because they saw something they paid to go late or whatever it is. So, but I think I've sent out maybe 30. It doesn't say how many are on here, but yeah, it was a page and a half of them. So, yay! Are you gonna bring yours over there to work it,
Yeah.
Maureen?
Yeah. I figured
Yeah,
I'll the meet, that meet and greet that we're having, that'll be the perfect time, and then I'll bring it with me. But it was so funny because you see how it's kind of bent? The
yeah.
envelope, you know how the envelope in big letters says do not bend? Well, this is how
Oh,
it was in my mailbox.
right. Yeah,
So I'm just waiting for it to,
they ignore that up here too. Mine's probably like that too. No, I
yeah,
ignore. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But
It,
yeah,
yep. Put it on your desk with a book on it for a little while and it'll be flat again.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, the word autographs is pretty small. I didn't realize I'd made it that small.
Mine's,
Yours is bigger. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yes, indeed. So yeah, I'm all ready for that to go. And I did
I'm
send it
getting
to work
excited. I'm
again.
getting excited. I can't wait to see everybody.
Ooh, I'm gonna wear this shirt and this jewelry. This is the jewelry that I like so much. This set. Well, this set. And it's funny when I first unpacked this shirt, Ty was here, and this is that shirt that's what are they calling it? Whatever it is, but but it's in
Is that the
the,
one that's got the smocking or something?
yes, that's what it is, smocking, the smocking shirt. And it's like maroon color or whatever.
That's
In
pretty.
my mind, I only have red, blue, green. I do basic colors, so I don't know what this color is, but it's to me it was almost red, but he said maroon. So but he said that's not going to go with the blue necklace. I said, "Oh, you're wrong because when you wear it with this, you're going to suddenly see these." And that's true, because normally when you're wearing this, all you notice is the big blue. But because the shirt's that color, you
It
suddenly
brings it
see
out.
tones,
Yeah.
right? So yay. That's definitely I'm wearing this is one of my outfits. I like the shirt. It's comfortable.
I was going
Yeah.
to ask if that was that shirt and if it was comfortable because I just ordered it. So
It's really comfortable and
good.
it's long enough, which I appreciate. The last thing I want is to highlight uh, unflattering parts by having it too short. That's never a good idea. And it's not tight, but I think I got 2X in this. Yeah, it's a zone for me, right? I've like the Sweet Honesty shirt. I ended up sending that to Erica, my buddy out in Vegas, because I ordered the 3X and it was a tarpaulin, a tarpaulin. It was a tarpaulin. Right. I couldn't yeah, it wasn't and the other thing is sometimes when they design the shirts, you guys are gonna laugh because I think you'll find this is true too. Sometimes they'll make the arms long just because it's for big people to shirt, but they don't increase the neck hole size. So the 3X Sweet Honesty shirt, which I loved the design of, had a tight neck, but it was so big that I couldn't even wear it for a nightgown. So I either had to get a smaller size, but I didn't end up doing that because I don't like a tight neck because of, the whole
Yeah.
chicken thing going on. So, but
Um,
anyway, Erica likes it, so that's awesome.
that's good. Do you remember Tuesday when I kept getting kicked off the call?
Yes.
I don't know if anybody has seen the weather reports of what happened here, but we had many
The
little
poles,
microbursts.
the
We had
electric pole.
one in a mile.
Wow,
Within a mile stretch in one area, they lost all their power poles and their electric. Yeah.
that's
Wow.
crazy.
We had
Hmm.
some like I said, we had some wild weather on Tuesday. We had a lot of microbursts.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Did
Yeah.
it here when that happened like 2 winters ago, I think it was, and it wasn't that it pulled all the poles down separate. It pulled one and they pulled him down like dominoes. It pulled the other poles down. Is that what
That's what
happened
happened
there?
here because
Oh,
a branch fell on one of the lines, and that's what happened. It pulled them all down.
oh,
There's
poor planted people.
Yeah, but I'll tell you,
Crazy.
right now it's only 87 here.
No, well, that's not bad. It's
No.
almost that here, I think. Yeah, that was oh, and so what happened Tuesday, why I was down there again is and you know what? The whole he forgot the hot dog on the stove and when we got down to it's 78 here. When we got down, he came up for a few days and then I drove them back down. And when we got down there, he realized we didn't have Jaden's medication. And it's a controlled substance they won't give us anymore because they think you're trying to sell it or whatever you're trying to
Yeah.
do with it because he is autistic and he's what combative so you have to give him extra medication but they won't give you any if you lose it you're done for. So I sat there for a good 20 minutes trying to figure out how I could get that back down here but there's no overnight anymore. Not from where I live. So I'm thinking, my only choice is to go get it and bring it back. It's 4.5 hours each way with no traffic. And then the reason I'm even explaining this is because I waited a few more minutes and I thought to myself, well, wait a minute, let me make sure I'm thinking about this right. Because the original question I asked myself was, how can I get the medication from New Hampshire to Yonkers the fastest? And then I said, well, wait a minute. What I really want is how can I get Jaden his medication tonight? How can I get the kid the medication? It's not really the bottles being
Right.
here that matters. So I said to him, why don't you guys go with me back? I mean, it's a lot of driving, but at least he'll have the medication once we get there. And so that's what we did. But so that meant that I drove 10 hours and more than that because there was, so we were going to just rest for a couple hours and go right back down. And he said, that's not going to work. Let's take a day and save up, you sleep. We'll do that and go back down. But yeah, yeah, that's a hard, the poor guy because he doesn't have a sitter or anything. He's 100% doing this himself. So he's exhausted to the point where he's making little mistakes.
Yeah.
Like leaving the medication. So I wish I'd have thought about it more because I said we have a rule for that, a hotel rule. Do you guys do that if you're going with a family? Like I've left whole outfits in hotels when I was traveling, so we have a hotel room if I'm staying with somebody, is one person gets everything out and leaves, and the other person goes back in and checks. If I'd have thought to do that, we wouldn't have left that here, but I thought, oh no, he's a grown man. Right. So we're going to go back to the hotel room later, but Joyce said, I'm interested in using the send out cards. What package do you suggest I start with? Well, Joyce, I think it's going to depend on um, your level of wanting to send the cards. So, because most of the cards have like how many that you get per month and they don't roll over. So, you want to pick ones that you comfortably know that you're going to do. Because I do see people like getting a subscription and then not using all of their cards. So you want to make sure you get, like, I'm on one I'm allowed up to 10 per day on my subscription. I've got a bigger one. I send 10 per day. I do not miss sending my 10 per day because to me it's like them keeping some of my money. We
Mhm.
don't be doing that. So you'll want to pick one that you comfortably can make sure happens,
Okay.
right? And the bigger, like mine at 10 per day seems like it's quite a bit because I think I pay 97. But if you think about it, I'm sending 300 because I'm doing 30 days in a month, 10 cards a day. 30 times 10 is 300. I'm sending 300 cards for $97, including the postage. So the bigger the package you get, the less you pay per card. So those are the two things you want to like, what am I going to be sending? Is it going to be birthday cards or what am I going to be sending? And then how committed am I to making sure this happens so that I don't, you know what I mean? You don't want to get
Yeah,
10 a day and then not do it because that's going to
right.
waste your money. So, but they have all
Okay,
kind of
thank you.
different packages. Okay. Did
The
you
Thank
have
you.
seven
any?
package has 50 cards with postage now for three
Yeah,
people.
so they have one that's 50 in a whole month.
Yeah.
And that's pretty doable, but you still have to pay attention to it because they don't roll over
So that's
Right.
50 in a month, and it doesn't matter how many you do. You
per
could do
day.
2 one day and 20 the next day.
Yeah. They probably
Okay.
mine's an older one. I don't even think you can pick anymore. So I think most of them now are so many in the month, but they still don't roll. So does that make sense?
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks.
probably costing them money if you think about it because, right, 300
hmm
postage is how much? 74
Is
divided
it that
by
much?
Yeah, it's
yeah,
expensive.
postage individually. Well,
And
it's
it's getting
not,
ready to go up again.
Yeah.
it's only expensive if you think about, I mean, it's not expensive if you think about trying to bring it yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, let me try bringing you a card, Maureen, for 74 cents myself.
right,
I have
right.
forever
Everything.
stamps that are about 5, 6 years old.
I do
Well,
too.
you can
And
still
I'm
use
still
them.
using
Yeah,
them.
You can
use
still
Yeah.
use
them.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, I started at least, for when I first started, um, I didn't use it for about a year and a half. I used it like maybe one here and one there, but I didn't really use it. And then we started I started doing the calls with Lisa and I started listening to her. And then I got up to maybe I was doing maybe 50 a month. And then at the beginning of this year, I decided I'm going to send 3,500 cards this year. That's my
Ooh,
goal. I want
Wow.
to send 3,500 cards. Well, how do I send 3,500 cards? Is I have to send 300 cards a month. And I've missed a
well,
few
that's 10
days,
a
so
day.
yeah. So I don't think I'm going to get there, but that is my goal that I want to do 3,500.
Well, you still got the holiday, so that's
Oh yeah, that's going to be a ton of
Christmas.
cards.
Yeah, so Joyce, just to give you a couple ideas, how I'm doing 10 and how it's working. I send out this is my current one. This is a flat card, so it's a 5 by 7, but it goes in an envelope. This happens to be a recruiting card for Avon, okay, for my team for Avon. So I have a list of people in my send out cards database that either they expressed interest in joining and never did, or Avon sold me the lead because they were doing that for a while, or they signed up and never did anything, whatever the case may be. But I have a big list and I send this out probably 4 times a year and I send a few a day. So why this has been worth it is I keep getting free leads. Matter of fact, I just got 20 free people in my first gen from Avon from some incentive they're running and some samples in my order because somebody answered one of the postcards and placed a $75 order and paid for it. So just doing that every day, I think the consistency is the thing, though, just like everything else. The fact that I know for a fact today, in somebody's mail today, 5 people at least are getting this because I send about 5 of these a day. 5 people are getting this. So every single day that mail is delivered, there's people getting my recruiting ad every day. And that makes it so that if you know what I mean? So, and one of the other things I send is when someone does join, there's a campaign. These are not in that 10 a day, by the way, because it's a campaign where I can put in, I can say, send these cards out, send one today, this one a week later, and this one a week later. So because it's scheduled, it's separate and I have to pay for it. But still, it's cheaper than any other way I could do a welcome like a welcome pack. So the first card is this one, and I call them the idea cards. And that's my van, that's the idea. And then the business card and how to do a poster and how to do your logo. So each card has 3 ideas in it, and these go out a week apart. So, like, I just sent 2 people signed up for my group over the weekend on my team. I scheduled these to go out. So, for the next 3 weeks, these brand new people are going to get a card a week from me with ideas that they can use. So, there's all kinds of ways you can use it, including birthdays, which everybody loves.
Yep. And
So,
I belong to a bunch of card sending groups. And so one of the groups, they're doing 4th of July and they're doing Christmas in July. And I have a funny story, and Donna, I want your reaction on this one. So this is my Christmas in July card that AI made for me. And on the inside, I have a shell Christmas tree.
oh, nice.
I have
That's
fun
like a
facts
color
about,
page.
yeah, I have fun facts, and then I have a recipe, and then I have this. So I send this. Well, the other day, I sent this card to Ireland, right, to somebody in Ireland. Well, the other day, I get a card from her, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see what Ireland. It was my card. It was my card. She photocopied my card
Oh,
and taped it on a card, photocopied a coloring page, and stuck it inside the card, and is sending it to everybody in that group.
oh, that's neat. That's
And at first, I
awesome.
was like, what is she doing? She stole my idea.
Oh no,
And
that's
then I was
good.
like,
It's worth
no,
stealing there. There you go.
yeah.
It's
Then
worth
I was like,
stealing. Yes,
yeah. I was
yes.
like, but then it's so funny because one of the girls in the group, she's like, I want to thank Maureen DeGregory and this other person for their cards. And both of the cards are saying in the picture because that's one of the things we're supposed to do is we're supposed to let everybody know when we get their cards. But I thought it was funny. And then after I was like, how dare she? And I was like, blah, blah, blah. I sat down. I was like, I can't wait to tell Lisa and Donna because I want to hear their reaction.
Oh, we were gonna go. It's worth stealing. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. But this was Lisa already showed that's my one of my 4th of July cards. And then this was my other 4th of July card.
Awesome. Now,
So
haven't you seen that there was a Avon rep, she's not, or they took her out for doing something. Um, but she would always have a big fit if someone used one of her graphics or took her wording and used it or whatever it was. The problem with that, I think, is if you go from just saying it in your head to posting it, because she was posting it about how horrible people were stealing her stuff and her intellectual property, and she was going on and on about it. But in my opinion, a potential team member or a potential customer is going to look at her rant and think, oh, she's going to be hard to deal with. What if I got to return something? She is just going to go off the wall over this. You know what I mean? You don't want to be perceived as someone. So,
right.
yeah, to me, I always immediately go, oh, yay, they stole it. I must
Well,
have
I
did
sent when I
something
sent her
right.
her thank you when I sent her her thank you card, I channeled both all of you guys and I said to her, thanks for making me giggle when I opened your
There you
envelope,
go.
you
There
know.
you go.
But I just thought it was at first I was like, oh, because I work really hard designing my cards, and I was like, oh, she stole my idea. But then I thought about it like later, and I was like,
Isn't that mimicry is the best form of flattery, or what's
well,
that
that's
saying?
it. That's
Yeah.
what,
That's right.
something about flat. And I was like, that means she really liked my card.
Yes. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and in the like in team time too, I mean the team time group there. I tell everybody I don't care what you steal because the reality is things are not so unique, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That they, yeah, so to me, it's just flattery.
Yeah.
Yay.
I borrow your ideas a lot. I
Well, the half
borrow
of them
them.
I borrowed from someone else, so.
Yeah. Like the
Well,
back of the card.
that's funny. Almost everything that I do, it was because I saw something else, either the same or similar. Because even like putting the wrap on my car, I wouldn't have thought of doing that just out of the blue. I saw another car with the Coca-Cola wrap out in Vegas. That's how I saw the first wrap. And it happened to be a PT Cruiser, which just happened to be what I was driving. So I needed that much of a, it had to be that similar for me to figure out that I could do it too, I guess. But I
Yep.
saw that and I went, oh, wait a minute, I've got a PT Cruiser. I could make a name on wrap. Ah!
See, I
So,
pulled this one out, and that's
oh,
how I
the old
got
one. The hair.
the
Yeah.
hair.
My hair looks interesting today. Yeah.
It
Woo.
was funny. I went to YouTube the other day and I was looking for a video, and for some reason, you are in one of my top because I watch a lot of the older videos, but it was the one of you with your vest and all your pins
Oh,
is the
yeah.
one that's showing up. And I'm like, wow, she looks so different.
Yeah. I
Not
had a
even the
lot
blue
going
hair.
on
You
case-wise too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even just the blue hair, it's the and it was just it was funny. I was like, who that's not Lisa.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even want to tell you what Bib says. He says AC and BC. Well, I don't want to tell you what that means. Before and after, right. Right, right. Yeah, I'm a happier person. Let's just leave it at that, shall we? So anyway,
Yay.
yeah, right, right, Valerie.
Well,
What
I
was
got a
I
kick out of
doing?
your little comment you made about the vitamin D.
No. Oh, you saw that. Oops, yeah. Molly and Lee were out walking saying they were getting vitamin C. And I said, what a coincidence. I've been getting a lot of vitamin C lately too. Right. Yeah. So anyway, um, I went when I was down there with Ty. I usually send him a thank you card for having me over. I'm sure he thinks I'm crazy, but that's fine. I'm sure he blames it on me being older than him, which isn't fine, but that's all right. But he said, "Oh, do you mind next time you send me a card if you throw in some of them coffee cakes again?" Like, no problem. So, oh, and if you guys don't, if you know her, if you could send her a card, that'd be awesome. This morning I did the one for Kathy Douglas's husband died.
Oh
So,
no.
I want to show you the one I did because those kind of cards are um, important because I think that, you know what I mean? Lots of times that particular kind of card is one that gets saved. So I want to show you that, what I ended up doing.
Oh,
Let's see here. So I went to her Facebook page, which let's do that so that I can show you what I did. And then I put in Kathy there, Kathy Douglas. And then if you go, this is anybody's. Look at how different Kathy looks.
yeah.
Yeah. So I went down to photos, and then at first you don't see any with him in it, but you just have to poke around a little. And I found some photos with him in it. So like this one. And then we ended up getting the six I needed. And then under albums, see, there's one of them here. So if you poke around in their photos, usually you can get enough to do that card. So now I'll go over here and look at the card itself. And how you can look them up is there's a bunch of ways actually, but I'll do it looking her up and then look her history. But there's a bunch of ways you can look at the cards. So I'll try to make this fast so it doesn't show her address. Ooh, yeah, it didn't show the whole address. Hopefully that'll make. Oh. Let me see. Let me quickly go over here and click on it. Okay, so we're not seeing her address. Yeah, see, so I found these different pictures on her Facebook page and pulled them. And I like this format for some reason. This says in loving memory. You can make this lighter, the background part. And then inside, this was by Alex. He made that for me a while back. And you can add a text block now on the inside on a full picture. So I added her husband's name and the years. And then down below, I put one other picture because I had enough to put a second one. So that's what I did. But if you need her address, just message me and I'll get that for you. Okay. Ooh. I didn't mean to have her address up there. So, but if you know Kathy, she's on our Team Time Tuesday calls
Mm.
almost every single week. So,
So I really quick, I've been trying to think of different things to add to my cards because as much as I love putting the coloring pages and the word searches and all that stuff, um, I send a lot of them to the same people and it's
mhm.
just they change, it's changed out. So I thought, well, let me ask Chat GPT because Chat GPT is my best friend. And I said to her, can you come up with some fun ideas to add to cards? And she says, Hi, Maureen, I love that you include extra goodies like puzzles, cartoons, and recipes that makes your cards so memorable and fun. Here are some more creative and thoughtful extras you could tuck inside your cards. So she said a mini coloring page, which we already do. But then she was like, tiny trivia. And I was like,
Oh,
tiny trivia? So I asked her about a tiny trivia and like one of the time, okay. So I asked her about tiny trivia and here's one she come up with. Summer tiny trivia box. What fruit has its seeds on the outside? A
what?
strawberry.
Oh, oh, that's neat.
What's the hottest recorded temperature on Earth?
200.
134 degrees Fahrenheit in Death Valley, California in 1913.
Wow.
How long is the average popsicle stick? About 4.5 inches.
Is that the pops? Valerie, we're 12-year-old boys. That's what we are. We're 12-year-old boys inside. That's all. Okay, go ahead,
But
continue.
then she was like, cool animal tiny trivia. Flamingos are born gray, not pink, which I knew because I love flamingos. But this I did not know. Polar bears have black skin under all that white fur.
Oh, that's neat.
Yep. And a cat can jump up to 6 times its body length.
Whoa,
Not my cats, but
that's a lot.
cats can. And then she gave Christmas in July tiny trivia. And I did not know this. What popular Christmas song was actually written for Thanksgiving? Jingle Bells.
Huh.
Well, that's pretty funny.
Yep. How many ghosts visit Scrooge in A Christmas Carol?
3.
Four. Don't
4.
forget Marley. Four.
Oh, dang.
What year was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer first aired on TV?
56.
64.
Oh,
But I thought that was kind of cool that she came up. So she gave me those ideas. So she said a recipe card swap, which we do, mini calendar page, origami shape,
oh,
quote of the day. Um, and I said to her, you're sending me things that I cannot put in cards. Because she's like a lemonade packet, fun
oh,
sunglasses sticker. And I was like, yeah, I can't do all that. So, and I said to her, I make them all online and send them so I can't add anything extra like stickers. She's like, got it. Since you're sending your cards online through prompting send out cards, let's stick with digital extras that can still bring a delightful surprise. Here are ideas you can add directly into your cards as images or text. So she did the mini puzzle or word search, which I already do, the cartoon or comic panel, which I already do, spot the difference game.
oh, nice. That's a good idea.
Yeah, riddle
That's a
of the
good
week,
idea.
a riddle of the week,
Hmm.
a tiny trivia box, a
So
poem or
Joyce has a look on her face. Do you know what we're talking about, Joyce? Or you want me to show you an example? Or have Maureen show you an example?
Well, I'm just wondering if people are being interactive when they get these cards with like they
Well,
are?
some
they
are,
are.
some are, some aren't. Right. Some are, some
Really?
aren't. But I think people, whether they actually do the color page or do the puzzle or whatever it is, whether they actually do it or not, you do kind of get credit for doing above and beyond just sending them a card.
Right.
So just the fact that you put together something that you just didn't run into the store and buy a canned card and just send it and sign it, I think you're going to get credit. So what like I do that too, Maureen and I do, and a bunch of you guys, is try to add value to the card.
So, like,
So
if you're sending a thank you, you would include something else with the thank you?
Mhm.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
Okay.
if you did like a 2 panel, you could put in a Avon trivia, or you could
Okay.
do a word search for the Avon words, and a lot of that stuff you can have. um, Google, you can find a website that makes free word searches by searching free word search creator or something like that, and
Okay.
it'll
See,
do it.
I thought maybe you were just sending them out just to get your number of cards that you want to be sent out.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so you
No.
would include that with your thank yous or
Yep.
birthdays.
Can
Okay.
can you put me so I can share my screen real quick, Lisa?
Sure. Let me make sure everybody mobile. Go right ahead.
Okay. So share. Can you all see me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, send out cards. Okay, so I'm going to show you, Joyce, what I was talking about here. So log in. So I send a lot of cards. I send a lot of birthday cards. I send
Mm-hmm.
a lot of cards, but Okay, so these are my custom cards. So like when I like the group was sending Christmas in July cards.
Hmm.
So I sent this thank you, and you see how it's the Christmas in July, but on the inside, come on. I put a couple more comics. She's my
Okay.
cousin from Florida. Okay, everybody, the fireworks are about to start. Let's all cower in the corner and hold on to each other. And then I thank them for their card.
And I
So,
don't know about you, but I get a lot of that stuff just straight off of Facebook. If I see a
mhm,
meme I like, I'll save it. Or even I add lots of times, even like a picture of pretty flowers from
yep,
somebody's and put that. It doesn't have to necessarily be something they have to do. It
right.
can be something that they see.
See, like this one I've been sending to a lot of people. Um, so
And
this
see,
I got off,
you could add words to that. So you could put the word thank you in the middle of that if you wanted
you know,
to,
Yeah.
or
and I
whatever
do
you
have a
wanted to do.
coloring page, but this one says, I just wanted to send a little note to brighten your day. Kindness makes the world a better place, and you are a part of that goodness. Wishing you joy and smiles today and always. I hope you enjoy the coloring page. But they might not use the coloring page, but they appreciate this.
Right.
So, and I do, let's see, I put recipes. This is the one that I made. Let me see, I gotta get over. Hold on, I gotta move you guys. See all my cards. Uh, Now this is one somebody was having a 60th birthday party, 60th birthday, and I didn't know them. So I went to Chat GPT and they made the cover for me. And then this was all done in Chat GPT. They did the 60th birthday search and then they made this 60 sprinkles of joy, laughter, and a little bit of mischief, wishing you birthday as fun as your spirit.
So she asked Chat GPT to make it look old timey like that and for the panels to
Yep.
match. So
Yes.
that's how that happened.
Okay, but I want to show you the one that I send for um friend of mine, his dog passed away. So this is the one, and I don't know where I found this cover with heartfelt sympathy, a precious
I
little
like
one
the
that
heart
will.
because it's got the paw prints in it.
Yeah,
That's cute.
I don't know where I found that though. That's the only thing. I don't remember where I found it. But inside, I did. Your wings were ready, but our hearts were not. And then the picture of the dog, and then just on the back. So
And see, a lot of those they get saved by people.
yeah,
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So those mean a lot. Those kind of cards mean a lot to people, I think.
yeah. So
So,
you and I make a lot of different cards. Um,
we're
and I
already
do.
at two, though. I didn't mean to.
Oh, I didn't realize. See, to me, it's only 11, so I'm sorry.
Right. No,
But
no, that's all
anyway,
right. You want to go
okay.
back to not share
Stop
just for a
sharing. Yep, I'm
second?
doing that right now.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I should have
No,
called on
that's
you
my fault.
sooner. We need to have you do another like Chat GPT segment because when there's new people all the time. Oh, you're doing them now.
I'm gonna start a monthly class.
Oh, good. Okay. That's perfect. So make sure to put it in the group so
I
you can
will.
do that too. Because
Yeah.
that's as important as Canva and all the stuff we're doing. So, but yes, indeed. So we will call it a day. I'm going to upload. Hopefully, it won't get kicked out because we show somebody's address. But there's a bunch of older shows there too on the YouTube channel if you want to go back and watch other ones. I didn't put what each one's about, so you have to, just get it from when I'm watching. But sometimes we say racy stuff, so it's fun too. I mean, you never know,
You never
right?
know.
Never know, right? But anyway, thank you very much. And if you need help, Joyce, let me know.
Okay.
Picking the package or whatever you need.
Thank you,
Okay.
ladies.
Certainly. Thank you very much,
Have a good
everybody.
4th.
Would appreciate you and have a great holiday weekend.
Yes, you too. Be
You.
safe, everybody.